I'm Sammy. I'm with TV Grapevine and Grapevine and High Heels. So happy to speak with you. So, what made you decide to do the show?
Hi, Sammy. What made me decide to do the show was the fact that I was eliminated as the first contestant on the Traders. So when I had the opportunity to come back to a competition show and I heard what the show was about and what it was going to be like, I could not wait to sign up and get in that house and redeem myself.
Very nice. And what was your strategy going in other than redeeming yourself?
I honestly didn't have a strategy, Sammy. The only one was to not be eliminated in first place, but it was kind of like be an observer, see what direction things are going in, try and like be more a part of the teams that are strategizing to get people out as opposed to being on the side of the people being kicked out.
Very nice. And what would you say was the biggest challenge about that?
The biggest challenge was probably having people in the house that you thought were friends, but were really on the low working against you.
And who are you most excited about meeting? I mean, you have such an incredible cast. I mean, obviously you're awesome, and you had people from Bachelor, Vanderpump, so many different shows. So, who were you most looking forward to working with, and why?
Well, I had known Jill and Kristen from before, but I have to say I was most excited to meet Alyssa Edwards and Lauren Speed Hamilton because I loved season one of Love is Blind so much, and I was so excited for Lauren and her husband. And obviously, Alyssa Edwards is a diva and a legend, and I couldn't believe I was going to be in the same house with him, her, and he turned out to become a really, really good friend. And I'm so grateful to the GOAT for having met him.
And who was the biggest surprise out of everybody you met? I mean, you kind of got into it a little bit with Alyssa being becoming a good friend, but who else would you say was the biggest surprise you learned the most about?
Jill was probably the biggest surprise, and she got very protected on the GOAT because they didn't show her acting like a beast towards production and the people in the house. But luckily, Below Deck came out right beforehand where you got to see her acting like, a beast. And so I was really surprised to see how poorly Jill treated production and the staff that were there to make such a great show for us. She acted like she was Goat Manor was Zarin Manor, and she was acting like production were her servants. It was kind of alarming.
Yeah, that was a bit surprising, but Jill. But what did you learn the most about yourself while being on GOAT?
What I learned about myself the most was even in a competition, my empathy kicks in. And although Davon and I had nothing in common and zero connection at the time when her and Justin were falling out, I really did feel compassion towards her and didn't want her to be upset or leave the house.
That's what makes you such a great person. I mean, I've talked to you before and you were under traders and I thought you were amazing. And now seeing you like this is next level amazing. And I'm so happy about that. But how does this differ from the traders and the other shows that you have done? I know you got a little bit into that before, but if you could elaborate a little bit.
Absolutely. So the traders isn't really what you see, what they're doing and what they tell you they're doing isn't really happening. But on the go, we were really cohabitating with one another. And that was one of the things I was dreading. I didn't want to be in a twin bed in a room with three other grown men sharing a bathroom. And wouldn't you know, the thing I was dreading the most was the thing that I appreciated the most. It was the funnest times were when cameras were down and we were in the bedroom trying to go to sleep and we were cutting up. And here I am, this like 50-year-old gay man in a house with a bachelor and Tech and Wendell. And they were so warm and welcoming. And all of the preconceived notions I have about how people are going to react towards me were out the door when Joey Sasso and Tech Holmes and Joe were so warm and welcoming. And the experience was so fun. I literally I've never had this much fun. It was such a professional crew. Production was phenomenal. I felt like we were shooting a blockbuster Hollywood hit. The number of cameras, like I did 10 years on Bravo. I did The Traitors in Scotland in a castle. But I was like, my God, Amazon Freebie, like, where have y'all been my whole life? Why wasn't I on Amazon Prime? Like, forget about Peacock and Bravo. This is where it's at.
And is there anything you would have done without giving too much away? Is there anything you would have done differently with your strategy or anything that you
100%.
regret about?
Yeah, absolutely. I would have been talking out of both sides of my mouth when it came to Jill. My strategy. I would have been definitely much more Jill-like as opposed to Reza-like.
Well, we love Reza like though. I mean, come on, you're amazing.
Yeah, but you get a lot further in life when you're a schmata salesman.
And who's someone you wish you would have gotten to know better on the show?
Lauren Speed Hamilton. I didn't get enough time with her. Her energy was so yummy and she's so sweet, and I just didn't get enough time with her.
That I would have wanted more time with her too. I mean, she seems like a delightful person. And you said
Delightful.
that you lived with the guys. Who would you say out of those four that you lived with that you became the closest with? I know you said you know him from before, some from before, but
Justin, Alyssa Edwards. He's like, as he would say, he's my good Judy. Like, we FaceTime all the time. We laugh and reminisce about our moments in the house, and he's really, really become a dear friend.
that I'm so happy for you. And just seeing you in this positive light, and I think you're an incredible guy. And I just
You're a
want to say
sweetheart,
thank you so
Sammy.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, and we do have to end this. And I want to say thank you for all the entertainment you brought me through the years. And I can't wait to talk again soon.
It was a pleasure.